Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sandy Zimmer and I'm a Close to My Heart maker from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Today I'm going to show you how to create this fun card using the springtime borders. And we're going to use the fence here to create a pattern. And we're also going to use this kind of a pig deal. I'm going to use the pig and use that sentiment. I'm going to use some espresso ink and we're going to use this blending brush and we're just going to create a fun card. So I'm starting with a 4 by 5 1/4 white daisy piece of cardstock. Off camera I started this. It's just so you wouldn't have to watch me stamp forever. So I'm just inking up that fence and I am just sort of overlapping a tiny bit and sort of creating that continuous pattern. Now you could do this with many colors if you wanted to. You could do an ombre look. You could probably even do it as a plaid maybe. So there's a little spot there that didn't quite catch the ink, but I'm totally fine with it. I think it just adds to the texture of the background. So now I'm using that blender brush around the edge here on my all-purpose mat. And you'll see here that I'm just lifting the ink right off of my all-purpose mat now and just going around the edges. So that creates a little bit of texture and depth there. So now I'm stamping that sentiment onto another piece of white daisy cardstock. And I grab my little mini trimmer here and just cut that apart. This helps me to straighten it out. There's a little edge there that helps me to know that it's straight, and then I flip it over and make sure that all my edges are straight. That blade fits easily in between the words to create some little paper strips. And I like this because I can split it up and move it around a little bit. So next I'm just going to grab my little scissors here. Those are great scissors from Close to My Heart as well. And I'm just going to cut them down. Decide to do that little A all by itself. I was going to ink around the edges and then I decided against it. So I will show you what I do there later. So I'm using the ice gray blend here, the fair skin and the pale pink blend on the pig, and I did that off camera. So I did the pale pink first and then I went over with the fair skin just to tone down that pink a little bit. The ice gray blend, I created some hooves that weren't on the original, and then I just used my journaling pen to sort of accent them a little bit more. So here I'm going in with the ice blue blend and the citrus green and coloring in the leaves and the flowers on that little piggy's head. So cute, love it. These tri-blend markers are great. So I went ahead and decided that I was going to use that ice blue blend around the edge of the words here. It sort of gave a little bit more separation, and then I also decided to add a little bit of an accent as well with those markers, and you'll see that in just a moment. So it's pretty easy when I just go around the very edge. Because they're alcohol, they sort of bleed into the paper a little bit, so it just is super easy to create that blue border around the outside. Okay, so just finishing those up. So you'll see me scoop away the ones that I had inked originally, and I like those blue ones much better. So just sort of dry fitting to make sure everything fits on there okay and how I want to put it together. I'm liking the way those words are lining up there. I think that's super cute. So because I don't really have anything for the pig to sit on, I'm cutting off that little rail, I think I would say it is. And I'm going to create something else for the little piggy to lean over. So just cutting that off, you'll see that my scissors are staying straight and I'm turning the paper that I'm cutting as I'm doing it. That just makes the cutting a little bit easier. So here's where I go in with my journaling pen and separate those hooves a little bit, add a little bit more detail. So I have a piece of extra white daisy paper here. So I'm just coloring on it with the ice blue blend. I start out with the medium and just doing it really roughly, although this is sped up, just so you know. And then I'm going in with that light one just to help blend it a little bit more. So I go ahead and I trim that off, and I, just kind of wing it as to how wide I want that to be. Put some glue on there, and I lay it across that corner at a diagonal. Then I realize there's still a little bit of white there, so I'm just going to go back in and blend with that blue. And of course I go over with the light color, so that just helps to blend it all in. When you flip it over and you use these scissors with the blade right up against the background, you get a perfect cut, so that's kind of nice. It's an easy way to make sure that everything's straight. And then with the rest of the ink that's left on my brush there, I'm just sort of swiping it on just to blend it together so that it is a little bit more cohesive. Then I'm just going to put my words on. Of course, I put my pig on already. Just put my words on there, get everything set up. I do have adhesive on this, but I'm just sort of lightly setting it on there just to make sure it is what I like. And then when I'm happy with it, I just put it all down. Now, of course, I'm going to pop this onto one of our card bases. Our card bases come with envelopes as well. Then I decide that I'm going to come in with my journaling pen and just sort of roughly sketch in some lines and do a little bit of a, rough board kind of texture there. Just create somewhere for those feet to be sitting. And then I'm going in with that journaling pen as well and just coloring in the pig deal. It is left opened, and you could leave it opened if you wanted to, but I kind of wanted to accentuate the pig deal part. So I'm just going over that, and it's pretty easy peasy to do. I could have also gone in with my blue and done it in blue. That would have been pretty as well, but I didn't want there to be too much blue. I feel like that little bit of blue around the words, that board that the piggy's on, and then the flowers are quite enough, I think. So again, I'm using the kind of a pig deal. I'm using the springtime borders, the espresso ink, our blender brush, and of course those tri-blend markers. So I just wanted to show you one last look at that. And if you like this, please subscribe by hitting the bell. Like this video by hitting the thumbs up. Share it would be fantastic. And of course, if you'd like to leave a message, I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.